Love this country, but we don't love what it has become.
Doris Davis and her wife, Susie Bartlett, are eyeing a move to Europe. Their reason?
I am officially running.
U.S. President Donald Trump. The New York City couple say they were willing to give Trump a chance during his first term, but they had watched in alarm as he returned to the White House and ended a range of policies aimed at promoting racial equity and rights for LGBTQ+ people.
There are only two genders.
When your identity is being attacked, there is a personal sense of just, anger, frustration. If he had won by one electoral vote, we were still leaving, because the end result is that he would be president. But the magnitude of it just really underscored how pervasive his thinking had permeated society here in the States.
They are now working with an immigration lawyer to assess options in Europe. Davis and Bartlett are part of an increased number of Americans considering relocating, though the overall figures of those leaving remain quite small. That's according to government visa and citizenship data and Reuters interviews with 8 relocation firms. U.S. applications for Irish passports were at their highest level in a decade in the first 2 months of this year, up around 60% from the year before. And applications for UK passports in the last 3 months of 2024 were a record of any quarter in the past 2 decades. While one Italian immigration advisor told Reuters that some Americans, mainly Republicans, eyed a move after Joe Biden's 2020 win, most firms said there's been a larger spike in interest since Trump returned to the White House. But there are right-wing populist parties making political gains in Europe. In Italy, the conservative government portrays itself as a guardian of traditional values. And in Germany, the AfD came second in a recent election, the best performance by a far-right party since World War II.
We've seen right-wing factions start to rear their head in other countries.
Krishan Wright is the founder of Blacksit, an organization that helps Black Americans move abroad. The New York native, who moved to Portugal in 2023, says traffic to her site jumped over 50% after the election. Wright says some Americans are still willing to make the move, despite the political situation in some European countries.
Generally speaking, I think Americans still are flocking to European countries and Portugal in particular. While there is a growing right-wing movement across many countries, that is troublesome. Nobody has a crystal ball in terms of how this is going to play out.
But many hurdles exist for those looking to move. Relocation platform relocating.me said difficulties in securing jobs abroad, restrictions on remote work, lower salaries in Europe, and the U.S. tax system are among the obstacles. And some Europeans, already struggling to cope with mass tourism and a housing crisis, have turned against the arrival of more Americans.